2, 1. My dogs have been on a ride. I don't know what I'm doing. Dookie, no. If you want a happier and healthier dog, switching to raw or incorporating raw food into their diet might be the switch that you're looking for. My dogs have been on a raw diet for almost 2 years now, and honestly, I would never go back. I've seen improvements in their digestion, their skin and coat health, they have a lot more energy, and Lucy's allergies are pretty much gone. And if you've been following me for a while, you know that this little guy right here is one of the pickiest eaters on the planet, and he is obsessed with his raw food. Literally the first time that I fed it to him, he licked the bowl clean. Huh. So you love your raw food. Yeah, you love your raw food. Oh, buddy. If your dog's been eating kibble their whole life, it's important to transition them to raw food very slowly. The introduction of fresh foods can cause some GI upset from introducing real whole foods. It's normal and sometimes even expected for many dogs to have loose stools, goopy eyes, itchy skin as their body adjusts to the nutrient-dense foods. I've heard some veterinarians refer this as to like a healthy detox process, but of course if your dog has any kind of underlying health conditions or medical needs, always check in with your vet before starting your dog on a new diet. And of course, no shame to you if you cannot feed your dog a raw diet. That is completely understandable. Things are so expensive, it is ridiculous. This is just how you do it in a safe and effective way. And at the end of this video, I'm going to leave some tips on how you can feed your dog a raw diet on a budget, so definitely watch to the end to see that. Without further ado, let's get into it. So when you first get started feeding your dog a raw diet, or really just any time you're switching up your dog's food, it's important to move slowly and just monitor your dog's symptoms. Look out for those loose stools, goopy eyes, itchy skin, and just see how they do. So like the first day to the first week, you can stick with just 75% of the original kibble and then 25% of the new food. Then on day 3 to the second week, you're going to want to switch over to 50% kibble and 50% of the new food. And then day 6 to the third week, 25% new kibble and then 75% of the new food. And then on day 10 to the fourth week, you can go to a completely raw diet. And I know I just said a lot, so here is an example of the gradual transition that you guys can screenshot to use for later. But really, the key is just monitoring how your dog does. If they're doing really well, you can just kind of go to like the shorter end of the gradual transition. Or if you are seeing more of those symptoms, just kind of stick to, okay, first week, second week, third week, and then fourth week. It really all just depends on how your dog does. Or if you're like me and you've got multiple dogs, or you're just trying to stick to more of that budget-friendly option, you can just stop at the 50% of the old food and 50% of the new food. That way your dog's getting kind of a wide variety of foods, and it can help you save money in the process by just kind of stretching out that raw food for as long as you can do it. As long as you can use it. The one I use is actually from Open Farm. I use their wild caught salmon and ancient grains recipe. This is one of their most popular kibbles, and for good reason. It's nutrient dense, it's packed with protein, it's got wild caught salmon and non-GMO fruits and veggies and superfoods like pumpkin, quinoa, and coconut oil. It's rich in omega-3s. It doesn't have any peas or potatoes or legumes, and it's 100% traceable. So this is a really good kibble if your dog struggles with a lot of skin and coat issues. And it is also ethically and sustainably sourced, which we love. And then to figure out how much of the kibble and how much of the raw you want to feed, you're going to want to figure out how much kibble is recommended on the bag for your dog's weight and then cut that in half. And for the raw food, you're going to want to multiply your dog's weight in pounds by 2.5% and then cutting that in half as well. I'm also going to leave the way you do the calculations down in the description below so you can learn more on how to do that, and then just leave this here for you guys to screenshot as well. And the raw food that I feed my dogs is from Refeed Raw. I have been feeding my dogs this for almost 2 years now, and like I said before, I would never go back. Their meals are perfectly balanced, they have high quality ingredients and the essential vitamins and minerals that your dog needs to thrive, and it's delivered straight to your door. Nutritionist formulated, vet approved, their meat is sourced from USDA human grade meat so that you know that you're getting good quality meat, and they also have free cold shipping nationwide, which is a huge plus. And honestly, at first, I was really kind of scared and nervous to feed my dogs raw food because I just didn't know how they were going to respond to it or if it was actually really good for them. But as long as you're getting your raw meat sourced from a good source and you're, using the proper handlations and storing it in a good way, you really don't have anything to worry about. Really, I've seen a bunch of different health benefits ever since I made the switch to raw food. Like their weight control is a lot better. Lucy used to fluctuate in her weight a lot, but ever since we switched to raw, we have a much better weight control. Their skin and coat is softer and healthier. They have more energy. Lucy's allergies are pretty much gone, and their digestion has improved significantly. But honestly, I think my favorite part about feeding my dogs raw, like the best thing that I've seen since I made the switch, is that my dogs actually get excited for mealtime now. Before, when I was feeding them just kibble, I would just put the kibble down and they would just kind of look at it and stare at me. Well, Dexter and Duke would. Lucy would just eat it up. Lucy will eat anything. But like Duke would just kind of like stare at me and just look at me weird. He's just like, I'm not eating this. This is disgusting. I don't want it. Dexter would just kind of eat and then stop and then eat and then stop. But now that we've switched to raw and we've just kind of added some upgrades to their diet, they actually get really excited for mealtime now, and it's actually really adorable. But honestly, the switch can be kind of scary. Like, spending more money on your dog's food can seem a little intimidating and out of reach. But once I shifted my mindset from I'm feeding my dogs more expensive food to I'm investing in my dog's health and saving money on future medical bills, that's really when everything changed for me. Really, ever since we started upgrading our dog's kibble, we have definitely had less visits to the vet. Like, Lucy used to get chronic ear infections all the time, but now that we've made this switch, she never gets them anymore. And anytime that we do go into the vet, they're always like, wow, they look so good for their age. They're doing so well. I took Duke in just the other day because I found a lump on the side of his ribs. So I just wanted to take him in to make sure he was doing okay. And they told me, they're like, I cannot believe that he is 10 years old. He just looks so good, and he's just moving around so great. So they were just like, whatever you're doing, just keep it up. And it really doesn't have to be expensive. You can use it as a topper or a base. Even just adding like 25% raw food into your dog's diet can have life-changing benefits. If you want your dog to experience the benefits of raw without committing to like a reoccurring monthly expense, you can consider buying like your raw food in bulk. We Feed Raw offers like a 5-pound bulk patties and essential boxes, so you can order just kind of as you need without signing up for the subscription. And you can also save money by choosing the more affordable proteins. Stay away from like lamb, venison, duck, and just kind of stick more to like the chicken and beef, because they're often the most affordable, but they're just as nutritious and your dogs are going to love it just as much. Plus, raw food also contains naturally occurring enzymes that help protect your dog's teeth and gums. So if your dog refuses to let you brush their teeth, raw food is a really good option and can save you money from having to take your dog in and getting those teeth cleanings, because trust me, that is super expensive. Some people also like to try to do like budget raw dog food on their own, and personally I'm kind of not really for this, just because the meat that you see in the grocery store isn't necessarily balanced for your dog. It doesn't require the right amount of muscle meat, organ meat, and bone, plus all the vitamins and minerals that you can get. The most important thing that you need to do for your dog's diet is to make sure that it's properly balanced and make sure that it has the bioavailability that your dog requires. And of course, every dog is different. Everyone's situation is different. So don't feel like pressured to have to feed your dog a raw diet or to feed them like the most expensive food or all the supplements that you see. Just all you can really do is just ask yourself to just do the best that you can. Just little tiny shifts, just adding like some frozen blueberries or some plain Greek yogurt. Just little tiny things can also really go a long way. So just ask yourself to just do the best that you can. And really, that's all you can do. Don't feel pressured by everyone else to have to feed your dog the most expensive thing that you can find, because realistically, just not everyone can do that, and there's nothing wrong with that. But if you are looking for more supplements and you kind of do want to invest a little bit more in your dog's health and you have the, the means to be able to do that, by all means, go for it. I really would never go back to switching my dogs or just feeding my dogs just plain kibble. I honestly think it's kind of fun to like prepare my dog's food now, and just the health benefits that I see from it are just priceless for me. I want my dogs to live the longest life possible, and really I'm just doing what I can possibly do to do that. Honestly, for me, if there's anything that I'm going to invest my money in for my dogs, it's going to be for them to have a good well-balanced, healthy diet. Really, that is just kind of key to making sure that your dog just lives their longest and happiest life. And that is just going to look different for everyone and for every different dog. Everyone's different. Everyone's dogs are different, so naturally every dog's diet is going to be a little bit different. So if you're looking to make the switch, definitely check out the description down below. I'm going to leave you guys some discount codes along with some more resources. You can kind of just do your own little research, look into it, and see if it's good for you. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll see you next time. Bye, guys.